3, and a 2, and a 1, and we're live. It is EuroAsia Scrum. Yes, let's get this right. It is EuroAsia Scrum, and it's Sam Thomas and Clint, and screen 3 is the place to be. And this is interesting. I could be having my real face, but I much prefer my Southmark avatar. So yesterday we had the charity jamboree, which we had 4 more wonderful presentations from different charities. Yeah, give me a second.
What's up?
Yeah, give me a second. Actually, Thomas, do you want to go first? Sorry, I've just got to deal with something. Go, tell
Oh,
us.
sure, no problems. Yeah, so last night I pushed out some patches to website 1 to production. We had a failing method on YouTube links and stuff, so I just patched that basically and wrote a test for it. So, but I kind of made it. I fast-tracked it up to production actually.
Right.
And Piotr from Warsaw got submitted his first little pull request, a bug fix for those tabs on the dashboard. If you remember, we went over that.
That was that.
Yeah, it's a small thing, but he removed those. Hopefully, you can see that because it should be pushed to production. So I'm glad that he's up and running. And also Christopher reached out to me and wanted to pair with me tomorrow, but tomorrow is Easter. It's a big thing for us, people of faith. So I'll be visiting my mom's, and there's a lot of church stuff going on. So I won't be able to do much pair programming over the Easter holidays. But yeah, so that's basically it. I'm off to work late, unfortunately. Yeah, no immediate plans. I'm not quite sure if I'll be able to host the dev meeting tomorrow for website 1. So either I have to find a substitute or I have to move it, basically.
Indeed. Right. Yes. Well, I mean, I think often these things, having them 2 weeks, every 2 weeks makes, I think, a lot of sense for some of these things. I guess we.
Yeah, I wanted to host them weekly because of the reboot of the project.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah.
Happening for a long time. So, but I mean, it won't kill us if I don't host it in any way. So.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. No. Well, and definitely finding some other people. Getting some other newcomers to come in would be good. Okay. Right. Sorry for my distraction there, but yeah, well done dealing with those things. So yeah, we had the charity thing presented yesterday. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's a lovely. I think what we have at the moment is sort of a challenge of trying to get. Well, I think what we have at the moment is we have more charities with projects than we have with developers wanting to work on them. So that's an interesting situation to be in.
I think there's always, what I feel. I don't know if it's the same thing with Makers Academy students, but what I feel is that there is plenty of people that want to work on stuff, but not many people that want to take charge of things, So I think I know I feel it this way, that I could get engaged or involved in a project, but
What I'm saying is, I mean, basically, I think probably we'll see how many go for it this time, but usually there's a couple of teams who want to, get it done in the context of their projects. But yes, I think that there's certainly, after they graduate from Makers Academy and they're searching for jobs, and as indeed many other people in our community are, people don't want to take on they don't want to take on the bigger commitments. And yeah, absolutely. I mean, having a person who's sort of committed to leading a project is a big, it's a big function of the success of that project overall and other people's ability to get involved. But that, yeah, I mean, maybe in some future, what we need to be doing is the project managers need to be paid because it is more responsibility.
Or perhaps if we could have a technical person from the charity to kind of become a project lead, and then become an integrated part of Agile Ventures, or
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, in some ways, if we could kind of tap into more people like Pavel, and there were like I find it quite strange, but there are these people who are specifically interested in project management rather than tech stuff. I mean, are there mailing lists out there for the people who love project management and just want to get more experience with project management? I mean, I think it's a question to ask. Well, maybe I'll just ask Pavel. Other random things. So after you left yesterday from the United Scrum, I managed to get Alejandro set up with audio and talk him through a couple of projects and invite him into some chat rooms and so on. And you know, so we've got him set up. Also, I think we fixed that issue with GitHub. It turned out that we had. So it's interesting with GitHub. You have these applications that you create.
Mm-hmm.
And you get this client ID and client secret, which are associated with kind of like an organization, but then still to do the API, you have to associate with an individual account. And it turns out that I think all of our different things that are accessing the GitHub API, we're using the same authentication token. And so I think the solution to the problem, and I think it is now fixed, is that we need to but basically
diversify that a little.
So that the different subsystems use different people's authentication tokens, and that seems to have fixed the problem. Although it makes me want to have kind of a dashboard rate limit up in our systems. But anyway, so we've got the support client meetings today. I'm going to need to do the client meeting prep straight away now. Hopefully we've missed the last 2 weeks of those meetings through one. Either my miss or the client's miss. Hopefully we'll get back on time. In the background, I've got the new Wine license, and I sent that out to you and Jeff.
I saw that. Thank you very much. I saw that.
And we should definitely prioritize getting RubyMine into our list of sponsors in the Agile Ventures.
I got a string of bad conscience last night when I saw that free license. So
yeah, there you go.
Hopefully that will motivate me to actually do something about it. You know, I can't promise anything, but
no. It's also quite a relatively simple. It's a nice, maybe one-point story that.
But you know, it's always the simplest stuff that takes the longest. You know. So.
Well, that's again what I tell my wife. What was I going to say there? So yeah, in the background we have to move rates locally away from Ninefold and onto what's called Heroku.
Yeah.
I'm kind of putting it off into like an emergency crisis to do it.
So listen, I've been meaning to ask you about those subscriptions. I think we could create some sort of monthly or one-time donation for people, and we could start with having that under the Become a Sponsor page.
Yeah.
So what I would like you to do, or I haven't written up a story for that, but I would like you to do is to create a Stripe account for Agile Ventures.
Yeah.
You know, and we can have it in sandbox mode first, and then you know there's some steps that we need to take, and I think that you are the one who needs to do that to authenticate this account and activate it.
No, fair enough. And we can do that. I mean, I was just bringing up this. I'm sure you've seen this is like
Yes.
the landing page that Jordan's created for the new Ronin thing. And I think that the interesting thing that he's doing exactly the thing that I've described, which is that he is getting the experience up, and then getting people to apply before actually building anything. So yes, absolutely, we can totally get set up with a Stripe account. But I think maybe the prior to that is what we should be doing is getting set up with the proposition and having people if anybody down as a beta user of the Premier Agile Ventures. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. However, creating the mechanism for actually, handling subscriptions and stuff, that's a technical thing, So
yes.
while this is a business process thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, but this is the thing. It's about cart before the horse. Because, like, we can talk about let's set up to build the mechanism for the subscriptions, but what we don't know is if any individual is willing to contemplate paying for a subscription. So before we
I know. Hold on. Your audio is breaking up a little bit, but let me just clarify that I perhaps I said subscription, but I also think I said donations. I was thinking about the first step being just to move forward with something, and I would be, I would personally be interested in donating money to Agile Ventures.
Right.
I would say that becoming a sponsor doesn't have to have a value proposition attached to it.
No, okay. It can be just a donation. Well, yes.
Yes, and once we have that, and I would say that we can figure out this value proposition simultaneously. with working on other stuff, and this is an ongoing thing. We have this this thing already in progress, but it will take some time for us to kind of agree, or finish this value proposition. What will be included in the like a gold membership or charity membership or what have you. So. But I would say let's start with just pure donations, and I think that's a good thing.
Right, and the simple, again, following along from the sort of the advanced search being Google thing, the simple way to do it is to put a PayPal button on the site, and I have a PayPal account associated with the thing. So so similarly for what I did for Funniest, you can get a button like this for donations into PayPal without being very. I mean, I know that the Stripe is more exciting. And getting that set up and potentially gets integrated more nicely. But again, there are things that one can do where.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So
I know about the PayPal button, and this is So the reason I was mentioning Stripe is because it's it's a more exciting solution. But we also spoke about Stripe before, so that's why.
Oh, absolutely, yes. But what I would like to be doing is I would like to be exploring the water about what people are actually likely to do or likely to be willing to contribute to, and see that if you're interested in donating, then I would the simpler path to allowing you to do that would be to put the PayPal donate button in and then see who follows, and then if we see that we have there's sufficient interest in doing that, and that it raises a discussion, then we go on to the technical solution, or the more involved technical solution. Do you know what I mean?
All right. Okay.
Yeah, that's just particularly given, as we've discussed, we don't have a lot of resources at the moment in order to support.
No, I understand. Yeah, I completely agree. You don't have to oversell this.
Okay. Then yeah. Well, that's my wife gets very annoyed as well. Apparently, I keep on talking just long after the board meeting.
You're kicking in open doors, brother.
Although I think it's just every day I face people who always seem to want to build, and this is not I'm talking about AutoVentures in particular, I'm talking about the students at Hawaii Pacific University and the Makers Academy, is everybody is desperate to implement more technical solutions, when I think it's not been demonstrated yet that the particular technical solution that's being discussed is the one that's justified. So you'll forgive me if it kind of presses a button with me. But ultimately, yes, I'll be very happy to set up. I mean, what the bigger thing, what I need to do, the stronger thing is what I need to do from a legal standpoint, is I need to actually officially make Agile Ventures a registered charity, and I need to spend some money or make some funds available to do that, and that's something that needs to happen. I mean, again, one can say, well, just start accepting the donations and then deal with it afterwards. But there are legal issues there.
But what kind of money are we talking about there?
Well, I'm just saying, like, for example, if we start accepting donations on Agile Ventures, then in order not to pay tax on that in the UK, then we need to be registered as a charity. So that's, and I tried to register us as a non-profit, and then I discovered that basically non-profit's an American concept, and we don't really have the concept of a non-profit in the UK. And actually, I need to kind of officially register as a charity in the UK, and that requires £5,000, which
£5,000.
Yes, but it's not. It's not that you have
Get the fuck out of here.
It's not that you have to pay £5,000. You have to demonstrate that you have £5,000 in the bank.
Oh, yeah, in the bank or as assets.
Kind of, that you have that sort of available. So it's not.
Well, okay, because in Sweden, when you register a corporation, you have to have £10,000, but you don't have to have that in cash. You can show them that you have assets.
So, I mean, but any which way, I mean, it's sort of you need to go through the process and get approved as a charity, which is something that I is on my to-do list and has yet to be done. But I will do. But yeah, I mean, let's certainly move forward on this and try and make it something so that we can have an official charity and we can receive donations.
Yeah. Okay. We all right, no problems. But so anyway, just a single word about the PayPal button. So you do have a PayPal account for Agile Ventures, right?
I do, yeah.
Okay, and so implementing a PayPal button is basically just pasting in some JavaScript code.
Exactly, it's beautiful, isn't it? How little technology is involved in it.
Yes. But the problem is that I've worked with PayPal for a while, and I also done some Stripe integration now because.
Yes.
So the big question for me with PayPal would be, how would we know who you know, in our system who donated money to through PayPal.
Yes, well, I mean, in the first instance, we just match the email address, and then we can, you know, do some, you know, like it can be done manually. It can be manually updated.
Okay.
And then so, I mean, the also thing I managed to, I got PayPal to accept us as a non-profit, so we won't get fees on the PayPal things.
All right, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was something that I did do. Like in the process, I was trying to set up a bank account for the non-profit last year, and failed through, I think, Lloyd's. The process of trying to open an account with Lloyd's in the UK was just ridiculous, and I ended up. I mean, this was to distribute the money for the that we did have donated through for the local support project, and then to pay people. So I basically ended up the overhead of trying to do it with that particular UK bank was so high that it was ridiculous, and I ended up distributing the money through PayPal, and PayPal accepted us as a non-profit.
Okay.
So.
All right. Just another comment about all this. In Sweden, we have a concept of social corporation. You know, do you have that in England?
We have it as a concept, but it doesn't seem to have any legal basis. At least that was the process I was trying to go through. And and in fact, the Voluntary Action Harrow Cooperative, who are it's Rachel and people who run the, you know, the other clients of the local support project, they've set up a cooperative, and they've tried to get this kind of, you know, the alternative. There's an alternative status in principle that the government can grant, which is to say that you're not liable for
certain taxes, basically.
Corporation tax. But basically, it's like you can't really get it, and they'll only do that if they see that you're committed to going to the route to being a full charity. So there doesn't seem to be any middle ground from a tax standpoint in the UK. You're either a charity, you're a charity, you're en route to becoming a charity, or you're not a charity, in which case you're liable for corporation tax.
All right. So, is there any upside for us to be incorporated or, you know, registered in the UK, or is there, if I do some research and find the Swedish rules a little more flexible or easier, since we are a European Union country as well, could that be a possibility for us?
I mean, I think that, I mean, you know, interestingly, many charities in the UK do seem to also be incorporated for one reason or another. I mean, that's in terms of limited liability and different sorts of things. I mean, I think
so is Swedish corporations, so is Swedish charities as well. Yeah,
it certainly wouldn't hurt. I mean, I think, as we discussed last year, we would ultimately want to have whatever is the appropriate legal entity in every country that we operate in. And so, you know, I mean, I think we should go ahead and get the, you know, a UK charity set up. But I think if there's a Swedish, you know, kind of non-profit or whatever it happens that's makes it convenient to be doing those things in Sweden, then we should set that up as well.
Yeah, I'll see that. I have a good friend that is kind of he's a consultant for the social, you know, companies whole thing, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, so I can talk to him about it and see if there's some sort of a easy way for us to, without, you know, shitloads of overhead and administration, to set something up, you know.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you.
Yeah, I'll just check in with Clint. Anything to report?
Oh, Clint's around. Hi, Clint.
Hi. Yeah, probably I'd be interested in starting up with website one with you, Thomas. Probably one of these days, because I like what you do when you prepare a program with people.
All right.
Everything else all good?
All right. Good.
All right.
Well, we'll hold you to that, Clint. Nice one.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Thomas. Speak to you soon.
Take it easy. All right. Bye.